Well, good afternoon and welcome to Fishing with CJ down on the beach. We've come to a spot which is just to the east of Eastbourne because I'm led to believe that Tony Kirrage had a load of plaice here yesterday. So we are still on the hunt for a plaice. I'm feeling quietly confident, which probably means I'm going to blank because the water is looking perfect. It's really clear, not much colour in it. It's a bit of weed floating through now, but only a little bit. Quite a few people fishing down here, so obviously the word is out. But I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and me 11. So there's nearly a dozen people fishing down here. Tony's fishing down here, I know. He's in 2 bays up from me, so I'm probably in the wrong spot. Interestingly enough, there's people in the bay the other side of me, and there's people in the bays that way, but this bay was unattended, so maybe they know something I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. It's probably snaggy as hell out here or something. Anyway, we've got 2 rods set up, both with multipliers on, usual game. One's with braid through and through, and the other one is with monofill and a shock leader, etc. We'll whack them out as far as we can. Still, the jury is out on the braid through and through on a multiplier. We're gradually building up our power on that. I think we'll be doing off the ground casts initially. I don't know if I'm going to be full pendulum casting. And let's get fishing. Let's get these rods out and let's get fishing. Right, so we're fishing. Right, now there's something I want to talk to you all about. Now I have gone on record saying that Fishing with CJ is a non-political channel. It's about fishing. But I have to comment on what's happening in Ukraine. Now, I worked for the United Nations in Eastern Europe just after the war in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And whilst I was working there, I met and made friends with a lot of Russians and a lot of Ukrainians. And they were all good, decent people. And I feel that the average Russian would not stand for what's happening in the Ukraine if they knew the truth. And I don't think they know the truth. I think they're being lied to. I think there's a lot of propaganda. They're getting told that this is some sort of an operation, humanitarian operation to overthrow an illegal government or whatever. I don't believe that's true. I believe that Ukraine is a sovereign state with a democratically elected government, whatever that means, and that the operation in Ukraine is not an operation, it is an invasion of a sovereign state, an illegal invasion of a sovereign state, and that the only people who are suffering are the people and the soldiers. Now, soldiers on both sides are dying. The young men all have sons, brothers, daughters, sisters, etc. And they are dying because of, well, who knows? Who knows what the motive? Who knows what the big game is? This is a big game. It's a long game. It's being played for some years leading up to this, I feel. Now, the reason I've decided to speak out is because initially it occurred to me that there was nothing I could do. There was nothing meaningful that I could do about this war. But occurred to me as I was driving here that as a YouTube vlogger, I do have a voice. I do have a following. I do have people all over the world who watch my channels, albeit it's a very small voice. It's a tiny little voice by comparison to some. But it is a voice nonetheless. And it's a voice that could get heard by people in Russia, people in Ukraine, people in the rest of Europe. Please, if you're listening to this, you are not getting the truth. Okay? The Russian people, you are not getting the truth. You are getting lied to. This is not an operation, a humanitarian operation. This is an illegal invasion of a sovereign state. And the only people suffering are the people. So please, if you can, do something about it. Please be part of that voice. Spread that message. Get that message out to the people who actually matter. It's the Russian people. Now, I have friends who are Russians. I have friends who are Ukrainians, as I've said. They are lovely, decent people. They're just like us. Okay? And we wouldn't stand for this. Well, you know, there are some that argue that what happened in Iraq and what happened in Afghanistan were illegal wars. I don't know. The jury's out on that. I certainly served in Iraq. I spent 2.5 years in Iraq in total, and there was a lot more to that than meets the eye, as there is a lot more to this. The situation in Ukraine, it's not as simple as it would appear. So anyway, that's enough. That's what I'm going to say. For the near future, I will be supporting the people of Ukraine in any shape or form. Back to what this channel is about, which is fishing. So thank you for listening. Just going to wind these rods in. They've been out a little while now, just to see if the baits are withstanding the assault from the crabs. Give us an idea of how frequent I've got to change baits if we are getting noshed by crabs. It's the problem with springtime, isn't it, is that the crabs start coming back out to play. I know that Jason's just been fishing down at Seaford, and his baits were getting robbed by crabs very quickly. Same rules apply with regard to that. It's not a blank dance. I will not dance for a dogfish or for a whiting or for a dingaling or a pouting, but anything else you will get a dance. And strangely enough, I haven't done a dance for a while because I've not caught much but bloody rockling dingalings and what have you. Bottom bait has been robbed, but the top bait is still there. That's good to see. Get that rebaited up, get it back out there. So you can see the bait is ragworm. Got a tenner's worth of ragworm. Nice healthy looking worms. Nice bait sizes. And the rigs that we're using is a 1-up. So that clips down to a cascade on the Portsmouth rig, and then that clips into the lead. It's a very good way of fishing a 1-up, 1-down. It doesn't snag, doesn't tangle, and it means that you've got a reasonable long trace on the bottom leading away from the weight. You see that I've blinged these up. They have got a luminous floating bead on there, which hopefully is going to make the worm move around a little bit in the tide. And then, yeah. So let's get this back out and get fishing. Right, it's not a blank. I've caught a whelk. Yeah, so that maybe is what robbing the baits is, the bloody whelks. They are quite carnivorous. Well, Tony is fishing down the way there with a number of young lads. Oh look, he looks like he's got a Plaice. Only a little one. Yeah, he came over to say he wasn't catching much, but I'm just looking down at him now, and there is a Plaice swing on the end of his line. So, yeah, if it's his, they're here. So there are Plaice. He reckons that it's just wrong that now is the sweet time, so we might get one whilst it's still daylight. You tend to catch them in the daylight. It's getting dark. Won't be long before it's dark. I will fish one rod with worms on into dark, but I'm going to switch the other rod over to a bluey rig, I think, and see if we can't catch something decent. Catch something, because at the moment, apart from a whelk, it's been a blank. So anyway. Right, definitely got a rattly bite on the left-hand rod. Of course, put the camera on now, it stops. Going again. I'm going to touch the rod. If I feel it through the rod, I'll wind it in. Come on, give us another rattle. Didn't look like a whiting bite. If I was going to call it, I'd say it was a rockling, but come on. Right, let's have a look, see what's on here. Either the bait's robbed or we've got a fish. Come on, please be a Plaice. Come on. Come on, be something. Nothing. Well, so far I'm blanking, but the guys over here, as we saw, were starting to catch a few Plaice, and apparently they've had quite a nice size one, so let's go and see if we can get it on film. Was he about to put it in? Look at that. Get there before he puts it back. If he is putting it back. I say it's a nice eating size. Put a stamp on it and post it home. Yeah. Look at that. Beauty, eh? Yeah. You're going to eat it or are you going to put it back? Oh yeah, no, that's definitely nice eating size, isn't it? 45 cents. Yeah. They tend to be a little bit lean this time of year, don't they?
Yeah. But I had one 42 last month.
Yeah. But 45 centimetre, yeah, off the beach, it's cracking.
Has he got row in him?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Turn him over.
Yeah. I told you, 4 minutes.
See anything on it?
Not really.
Feed it. You can see it.
4 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's got row in it.
Nah, it's thick though. It's got.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, cracking. Well done, mate. Baby Bean. Okay, Baby Bean. Ben, but without the A. Yeah, right. Okay, mate, awesome. Fantastic. It'll be on the YouTube, on my YouTube thing, that's all right, yeah? Because I ain't catching anything.
My rods are moving now.
Whoa.
That's going really well.
Yeah.
At last, but it might not be Plaice, it might be white in now, it's getting a bit dark.
Yeah.
We should find out.
You just fishing with rag, are you, or are you tipping it off with...
Rag and lug mixed,
Right.
horrible lug
Yeah.
mixed up.
I mean, I've got some horrible frozen lug on mine.
Bit of everything on there, it's frozen stuff.
All I've caught is a whelk and a tiny little crab.
Don't worry about the bait too much.
No.
You know, as long as it's a nice
Yeah.
little bait,
Yeah.
if it's frozen, it don't really matter if it's
No.
decent. Well, I say decent, sometimes it's better if it's old, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it? Weird.
But it's kind of like tough tonight.
I'd come get some live ones. Get us some live ones.
I think I've got one on that rod. I'm going to leave
Yeah,
it. sort of
without a
get
doubt.
couple.
Without a doubt. I've had a
That
few little
one's
knocks
going
and
now,
taps,
six.
but
The other
yeah,
one too is fine.
that's what I'm kind of getting, just little things like that. And when I come in, the bait's half noshed, so
Yeah.
I've got my songs on.
They lay there though, they give you a good bite,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they'll just lay there. And
oh look at
sometimes
there, you've got a nice one
sometimes you
on the
think,
left-hand
well,
rod.
I'll leave it,
Yeah,
and it's already on there.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I think half the time when they sort of it goes over,
yeah,
I think they're swimming away.
yeah,
But they're just swimming away with the hook in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Already hooked.
yeah.
And of course that's how it pulls the
And
rock.
it
just
scares
goes over
scares them
slowly.
then, and so they, because their defence mechanism is to settle in the
that's
bottom,
right,
isn't it?
yeah.
So
But no, they really attack the bait. You've seen it, haven't you?
yeah,
When they do bite.
I had a sole last year. I couldn't believe the bite of a sole. Bloody, I thought it was, the rod went whoa.
Yeah. Oh, they really hit it.
Yeah.
They're the most powerful flatties.
Yeah,
They're incredible, they are.
yeah.
The
Both
power of
both
them.
of them.
When you get them in, they sort of arch their back, and
Yeah.
at the end they really sort
Yeah.
of go.
But I mean, they're all
Well,
muscle,
you know
aren't
when
they?
you pick them up, you can't
Yeah.
handle them properly.
Both your rods are going,
Yeah,
Tony.
no.
I nearly
Get 'em
fished.
in the minute.
I nearly fished here, and I thought, no, I'll go the other end because there was nobody here when I came down.
That's going better now. I just want to give it a little bit more time because
Yeah.
quite often you're reeling and they're not on there.
Oh look, both of them. Yeah, both. Of them.
I know you're good, but let's see how good the other two were.
Yeah, that's true. Don't know which one to reel in first. Look, I'll chuck that one first. This one's been the longest, so we'll reel this one first. And have some big hopes for the other one, I suppose.
So when you look back and see your own rod going,
Flying down the beach.
yeah. I had that experience with smooth hounds last year. I was cooking my dinner,
He's on there.
and I was filming me cooking the dinner, and behind me on the film you can see my rod going. Then a crash, I looked round, and my rod's running down the beach, and there was like a big lagoon, and it went through the lagoon, and I had to run through the lagoon. It's about 3 foot deep, got soaked, just caught my rod as it went over the top and into the bay.
I did cod offshore on arm.
I did catch
Yeah.
one earlier on.
Yeah?
Flying down the
I saw that one. I
There's
saw that
one
one.
on here,
Yeah,
but it might be a whiting. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's getting a bit dark.
Shoreham's East Arm, you know the barrier.
yeah.
Halfway down, the rod's literally just started shingling along the top of the barrier all the way down. The mate was laughing. There's me running along, rolled in the fag, dropped it on the floor.
Awesome. Yeah, don't you just love it when that happens?
Oh,
As
it
long
was
as you
quite-
get your rod back, it's when your rod
Oh, no,
disappears across the...
He turns to me when I hope it goes in as I'm chasing after it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not so bad if you get your rod back, it's when your rod disappears with a fish on it.
Oh, I don't know.
Silly one, look, small one. That's all right.
There you go. Well, it's one more than I've caught.
Not very big though, is it?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, a spotty. Little make a sandwich.
Get off. Left leg.
Right. We just see what Tony's got on his right hand rod, and then we'll go and we'll have a...
I actually feel bad doing that.
Yeah, it's not big enough, is it?
No.
Oh, please fall in.
Right, get that one in. I'm going home. I'll give it a couple of minutes. Still going?
Haven't seen it.
I might not get this. It ain't been out there that long, is it?
That was the one that was pulling first, didn't it? Oh, well, it was when I came over, it was the one that was pulling.
I like to let him hang himself. Bit of tide there now as well. It's perfect now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Wants to be an hour earlier, doesn't it, really? I've got a clue. What's the time? Just gone 6, is it? So it's come down here, just gone 6 tomorrow morning. I don't like early mornings.
there's one on here.
Yeah?
What's the tide in the morning then?
Well, it'll be, if it's 6 now, it'll be 6 tomorrow morning, roughly.
The high.
Well, no, this tide it progresses an hour each day, doesn't it?
Because it's high, 10 tonight.
High's 10, so high will be about just after 10 tomorrow in the morning. So low was about 4 o'clock today, wasn't it? So low in the morning will be 4 o'clock in the morning, roughly.
Well, I won't be here 4 o'clock in the morning, I can tell you.
No, I won't be either. I might be dreaming about. So obviously it'll be dark then, so there's no point in coming in the dark anyway. So.
One good thing about this seat, you don't lose anything.
Yeah. And another little place. Well, I better go and concentrate on my rod.
They're good bites for the, you know, for the size of the buggers, isn't they?
I think I caught the big ones yesterday.
So all these people fishing here, and Tony's in the middle of them, and he's had 6 place so far. So, yeah. That's why he is what he is. And I'm doing the same as he is, casting out the same, fishing with decent baits, and so far I am blanking. Oh, I don't know, right hand rod is doing something. Have a look. Obviously I've been down there, so I could have missed the bite. Now, what I did learn last year or the year before last, no, year before last now, see, it's that Plaice will be in a spot. There'll be something that holds them in that spot, and that's where you catch them. So me being 50 yards this way, they might not be here. They might all be in front of Tony, which is where he's had all of his fish in the last couple of days. So definitely a good holding mark, something to bear in mind. And the annoying thing is that when I first got here, I was going to fish there. I wish I had now, but never mind. Oh, definitely got something rattling on there. What it is, I don't know. Because you do know that if I catch a Plaice, you are going to have to suffer me dancing. Oh, it's the right hand rod that's got a knock on it. Let's wind it in and see what we got. Because I mean, I could have missed a really lunking bite while I was down there chatting. It's just the fish hanging on. Nope. Bait's been ragged, but no coconut. That's why it felt like there was a fish on there. I've got a balloon on it.
Not monster size.
No.
Getting them now though.
Yeah, I'm
Going
not.
home now, but
Yeah, I'm getting
right?
a few rattles. Yeah, lovely, mate. Yeah, I mean, you're just showing off now, aren't you, really? So what is it
they're
you're
not
doing?
big like last night, but
Yeah.
But they're there now. You get them every chuck, but it's just getting dark too quick.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm getting little rattles
Thanks very
now.
much, yeah, I'm off
No, okay, mate. Well, you know, thanks very much
You
for
might get
showing
a
me how to
ray,
do
though.
it.
You might get a ray.
Well, that's the plan. I'm going to swap one of the rigs over to a blue rig in a minute and fish that and keep the worms
Yeah,
on for a
give it
bit.
go. It's lovely tonight, isn't it?
Oh, isn't it? As you say, it's just a pity. It's an hour early, isn't it? Or it's
Well,
an
in hindsight, you don't know, but tomorrow's the time. Thursday's good, but as it becomes the morning tide, you can fish it right up to high tide.
Yeah.
You get a load.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right, mate. Cheers, Tone. Right, well, the light is fading fast now, and allegedly Plaice will feed at night, but they're more of a sight day fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rig up a ray bait now, put some bluey on, see if we can't catch something else, even if we catch the dogfish, to be honest, because at the moment I'm blanking, and that's unheard of. Never normally blank. Normally catch something, but we'll see. So let's get a ray bait out and see if we can't pick up something like thornback or something like that. Certainly feed the crabs. Well, I've just moved my rods up the beach, and while I was sort of setting the lines up and everything, I noticed one of the rods is bouncing around, so maybe fish on there. Get some light onto it so we can see what's going on. tiny little knocks. Nothing. Well, let's wind it in and have a look. Shall we say? I'll be happy with anything to avoid the blank. Anything, anything, just anything, anything with fins. There's some resistance there. Come on, anything, anything, anything. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, guess what, guys? We're going to be cueing some music and we're going to be dancing. Because, against all odds, I have caught a nice plaice. Look at that. Well happy. Caught after dark. There's no possibility that was been sitting on there since it was daylight because, yeah. And that is big enough to eat, so it's going to come home for tea for me. And also on the other hook, just to add to the injustice, if you like, is the smallest little whiting. So look, so he can go back. Swim, little whiting. But this bad boy is coming home for tea. So make sure I've got it on camera. Happy, happy days. Happy, happy days. Cue the music. Well, tonight is not my night. Rod tip snapped off. The rod tip has snapped off. I wonder if I can fish it without that tip on it. I'll just lob it out short distance. And I wasn't casting any undue huge weights or full-on pendulums, it just snapped. Well, see if Penn's aftercare and the Angler's Den live up to their reputation and what I've been selling them on big, and see if we can get a new tip section. I'm sure they will. Penn are very good, very, very good. Trip to Angler's Den tomorrow. I'm going to try lobbing this out without a tip section on it. So it's Tuesday night. I shall go to the Angler's Den tomorrow, Wednesday. And let's see how many days it is before I get a new tip. So I don't know if you can see this. Let's put the headlight on as well. Got a mega light on it. But I'm currently fishing with the furthest rod minus a tip section. So it'd be interesting to see. It'd be nice to catch a fish on that, just for the challenge aspect of it. But yeah. Well, it's been an eventful night. Thanks very much for joining me on the beach. I thought I was going to skunk, I thought I was going to blank tonight, but eventually I did manage to get quite a reasonable place, which when I get home and measure it up and what have you and take a photograph of it with the necessary piece of paper in the background, I'll submit it for Jason's species map contest. And then my lovely Penn rod, my dream rod, for some reason the tip section snapped on it. So what we will do is we will make an assessment of the Penn support system, see how quickly they can get me a tip section and find out if there's any quibbles about it. But I'm going to start packing up now. I'm going to start heading home. It's been an eventful night. I've enjoyed myself. There were plenty of Plaice caught by other people, not by me, and we will see that. Tony was catching them in pairs towards the end of the session. And little Bean had that cracking 45 centimetre Plaice. So it's 2 centimetres longer than mine, but still mine's coming home for tea. Yeah, so thanks very much for joining me. Keep safe, keep sane, keep fishing.